What if the one thing standing between you and something truly evil was someone you never even got the chance to meet? This story was sent to us by a girl named Maya, and I have to warn you right now, by the time this ends, it won't just scare you, it will break you. Stay with me. Maya grew up in a small village tucked deep in the mountains. The kind of place where the fog never fully lifts in winter, where the roads curve along the edges of cliffs, and the valleys below are so deep, you can stare into them and feel like you're staring into something alive. She had been with a boy named Rohan since they were teenagers. They met in school. Same village. Same narrow roads walked every morning. And somewhere between shared lunches and long conversations on the way home, something quiet grew between them. Rohan was 1 year ahead of Maya in school. After graduating, he spent a year preparing for a national competitive exam. Maya finished her own schooling that same year, and suddenly, the gap between them closed completely. Same level, same future, same hopes. When Rohan didn't pass the exam, 1 month into college, Rohan got selected. He was leaving for 6 months of intensive military training. No personal phone calls during training. No regular contact. He had to go immediately. And just like that, Maya was alone.
At first, Maya told herself she could handle it. This was his future. She understood that. She'd manage until he came back. But days became weeks. Weeks without a single call, without his voice, without anything. She started skipping college. She'd leave the house every morning pretending to go, then sit in the park for hours, staring at the ground, going nowhere. When her parents eventually discovered she hadn't attended a single class in weeks, they pulled her out entirely. They canceled her enrollment. And then they took her phone. No college, no phone, no Rohan, no connection to anything outside those 4 walls. Maya's mental state began to collapse slowly and quietly, the way a building doesn't fall all at once, but cracks from the inside, long before anyone notices. 6 months passed. Rohan completed his training and returned to the village. With no way to reach Maya, he went straight to her house. He stood in front of her parents and told them clearly, "I want to marry your daughter." Maya's father had come home from the city that same week. He heard those words, and the reaction was immediate. They screamed at Rohan. They threw him out. They told him never to come back. Then they turned to Maya and told her she was not allowed to leave the house.
A few weeks later, Maya's cousin came to stay with the family. She was around the same age. She listened to everything Maya told her, without judgment. But she gave her one clear warning. Don't mention Rohan to your family. Not yet. Not now. After a few days, she convinced Maya's parents to allow them short evening walks together. Just fresh air. Just 1 hour. Nothing more. There was a trail near the house, a narrow road that curved along the edge of a deep ravine. Forest on one side, a sheer drop on the other. Local people walked it sometimes, but mostly avoided it after dark. The 2 girls began going there every evening. And during those walks, Maya would borrow her cousin's phone and call Rohan. Just a few minutes, just enough to hear his voice and remember she was still real. Rohan eventually got Maya a small basic phone, the kind with no internet, just calls. He told her to keep it switched off always and only turn it on during a fixed window each evening. That small device became the only thing keeping Maya sane. Her cousin left after a week. Maya's parents enrolled her in an online degree program. No physical classes required. Just study from home and appear for exams. For a while, life felt manageable again. In June, Maya's parents left for 2 days to attend a family gathering out of town. They asked her to come. She said no. Her exams were approaching, and she needed to study. Her mother asked her to sleep in her grandparents' room at night. She refused that too. The moment her parents drove away, Maya called Rohan. They had planned this already. That night, he came in his car, and Maya slipped quietly out of the house. Grandparents asleep, no one watching. They drove together toward the mountain road, the one that curves sharply near the old cremation ground on the edge of town. The locals have a name for that stretch of road. They say it belongs to something else after dark. Accidents happen there with strange frequency. 6 years ago, a young woman's body was found at the bottom of the ravine below. The case was never fully solved. Rohan took the road heading out of town. He parked at a quiet lookout point on the mountainside. They sat together in the car and just talked. Really talked. For the first time in months. Rohan reached over and pulled Maya close. "Please don't ever go somewhere I can't follow," he whispered. "I can't do any of this without you." And in that exact moment, while Rohan held her from the front, Maya felt something press against her back. Arms, wrapping around her from behind. She said nothing. She didn't want to scare him. She told herself it was her imagination. They began eating the food Rohan had packed. Maya looked out the window toward the dark mountain on the opposite side of the road, and she saw a child. A toddler, maybe 2 or 3 years old, glowing white, softly, like something lit from within, climbing slowly up the rocky slope of the mountain. She stared. She blinked. She counted each small step. Then, the child was gone. Maya told Rohan she was cold. She asked him to drive further along the road. He moved the car about a kilometer ahead and parked again. Maya reached for the food container. Her eyes drifted to the rearview mirror. The child was sitting in the back seat. Same soft glow, same tiny frame, but its face was furious. Ancient, focused rage directed entirely at Maya. Like she had done something the child had been waiting years to confront her about. Maya screamed. Rohan grabbed her shoulders. Before she could explain, as they approached the bend near the cremation ground, Maya's throat closed, completely dry, couldn't swallow. "Water," she managed. "I need water." The bottle in the car was empty. Across the road, a natural mountain spring ran along the rock face. Clean water. Locals drank from it regularly. Rohan looked at Maya. "Stay here. I'll be back in 2 minutes." He stepped outside. Maya sat alone in the car. She looked at the rearview mirror. In the back seat, directly behind Rohan's seat, sat a man.
You never thought about Kabir.
No left eye, just a dark, empty socket where it should have been. Half of his face was burned, scarred tissue, melted, uneven. And he was staring at Maya. With an expression that wasn't aggression, it was something worse, something possessive, like she was an object he had already decided was his. Maya grabbed the door handle. She opened the door. She tried to call out to Rohan. No sound came out of her throat. Her voice was completely gone. So she sat there, shaking, and wept, with no sound at all. Rohan came back with the water, but the way he was walking was wrong. His steps were uneven, lurching slightly to one side, as if someone was walking pressed against him, forcing his body off balance with every stride. He reached her window, handed her the bottle, looked at her, and then his eyes changed. Something moved behind them, something that wasn't Rohan. He looked at her with cold, hollow fury and said, "You never once thought about Kabir,
You never thought about Kabir,
did you?" Maya's entire world stopped. Kabir. She knew that name. She had chosen that name herself. She had never spoken it to Rohan. Not once, not ever. After that, she remembers nothing. When Maya opened her eyes, she was in a doctor's house.
Rohan had driven her there in a panic. No clinics opened that late on the mountain roads. The doctor gave her medicine, sent her home. Rohan stayed until early morning, then slipped out before her grandparents woke. The next day, Maya asked him, "Last night, you said a name, Kabir. Why did you say that?" Rohan had no memory of it. They traveled 30 kilometers together to find a man, known in those mountains for dealing with things that couldn't be explained through ordinary means. The entire drive, Maya kept seeing the one-eyed man, in reflections, at the edge of the road, always watching. The old man sat with them, closed his eyes, was silent for a long moment. Then he spoke. He said there was a male spirit attached to Maya. It had first seen her during those evening walks near the ravine, the ones she took with her cousin months ago. The spirit had locked onto her, followed her home, and had been waiting for the right moment to take her completely. That night on the mountain road, he said, when your boyfriend walked away to get water, the spirit was going to take you. You would not have come back. But something stopped it. He paused. A child, a small child's soul, one that has been walking beside you for a long time. Maya was already crying before he finished the sentence, because she already knew.
When Maya was still in school, she became pregnant with Rohan's child. Rohan panicked. He wanted it dealt with quickly, quietly, before anyone found out. Maya resisted. She says she could feel the child. She knows that sounds impossible at such an early stage, but she swears she could sense a presence, something real, something growing, something that already felt like a person to her. She began talking to it. She chose a name, Kabir. Rohan kept pressuring her. Weeks passed. Eventually, she gave in. The pregnancy was terminated. But she never fully let go. She never said goodbye. She just buried it. And the old man told her the child never fully left either. The jelly-like substance that came out of her that night, he said it was grief. Grief that had been locked inside her body for years, finally forcing its way out. And Kabir, the soul of that child, had spent those years walking beside his mother, not as a haunting, as a shield. The old man tied a simple thread around Maya's wrist. He told her to visit a place of worship every week, light a candle, leave something small, say his name, Kabir. Maya says she hasn't missed a single week since. She says the dark presence is gone. The one-eyed man has not returned. But she still feels something beside her sometimes. Quiet, warm, small. Her little boy, still there, still watching over her. I want you to sit with this for a moment, because the most frightening thing in this story isn't the figure at the wire mesh. It isn't the man with the burned face. It isn't even the child appearing in the mirror. The most frightening thing is this. Unresolved grief leaves doors open inside us. And certain things in this world know exactly how to find those doors. Maya is okay now. She sent us this story herself. And I think she wanted it told, because she's finally ready to speak his name out loud. Kabir.
If something unexplained has happened to you or someone close to you, share your story with us. The link is in the description below. Until next time, stay aware, stay safe, and whatever you do, don't stop to look in the mirror when you're alone